Hi there, Jacqui Ashley here. And today I want to talk to you about tips to help you to tame that inner critic, or as we will like to say, as I like to say, that itty bitty shitty committee. Yes, that thought, that thing that goes in and tells you, oh, you're this or that, or you can't do this, or you're making a lot of mistakes, or you're doing this wrong, or you're doing that wrong. And so when you get to a point that you're so focused on letting that take over, it can really, really be affecting your life in many, many ways. So today, I really want to give you some tips to help you to kind of tame those inner thoughts and really to help you to manage it so you become more focused, you have a better mental state as well. So the first tip I want to mention is really about acknowledging your thought and listening to your inner voice. At times, we often just let it go, let it come, but we let it keep coming. So the really important thing about this is just to really to acknowledge, have a listen to what you're actually saying to yourself, and how you're actually reacting to it. So I actually like to call it this our inner GPS system. When we're saying something, normally what would happen is that we would have a feeling attached to it. And so listen to what our thoughts are and then notice how we're feeling about it. And then just acknowledge, because first of all, acknowledgement is the first key to making changes. And then when you acknowledge it, you're able to really just step back and, okay, you're feeling this, you're hearing this. So acknowledging what the thoughts are coming through, and just remember that it is just a thought, right? It is just a thought. What happens for most people is that when we turn that thought into that constant thought that we believe in it, and that's when it starts to take over, right? So what we want to do is catch on it and notice, okay, what is it that I'm thinking? What is it? Okay, what is it that I'm hearing? Okay, I'm hearing this. I'm hearing that. Okay, I made a mistake. How does it make me feel? Right. Making and just acknowledge it. Or if something that you hear, have a think about whether this is accurate or not. So my second point, my second tip is how to respond to your negative thoughts. And that means listening to what you're saying to yourself, but also understand that you don't have to agree with it. You can actually disagree with it and say, you know what, actually, no, this is not true. This really is not true. Right. So for example, let's talk about let's say I'm saying to myself, I'm making a lot of mistakes. Oh, gee, you're making a lot of mistakes. Okay. How can you change that into a better thought? And that is by saying, actually, it's not that I'm making a lot of mistakes. I'm making a mistake, but I'm actually learning through these mistakes. And it's through these mistakes that I'm actually learn and to be better, that I am actually able to change things around to get a better result. So actually, by having these mistakes, these are actually going to help me be a better person and create a better situation, right? So the next tip I want to give you is, you know what? Have the self-compassion. Have self-compassion, compassion for yourself, and realize that at the end of the day, we are not perfect. There is no such thing as a perfect soul here, okay? No such thing as a perfect being. We're all human beings, and with that comes flaws. We're all very unique. So be okay to know that you're not perfect and you're never going to be, but it's through the imperfection that we are learning to grow. So don't see it as perfection, rather seeing that, if you think of it as learning to grow, and the more mistakes we make, the more we're actually going to grow. And also understand that You know, it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to make mistakes, right? What do we do when we make a mistake, or what do we do when we hear something that's that inner critic in our head? Let's revert back to what is it that we're trying to achieve? What is it that you're trying to achieve now? Look at your goals for today. What can I do now to help me to move forward? So list that down, and writing it down. Journaling is a very, very powerful tool that actually helps you also to de-stress and help you to manage that inner critic. So I really, really encourage you to have a book next to you, you know, where you can actually start journaling or writing down goals. Right? Goals doesn't have to be long-term goals. Goals can be daily goals that you could just write, even just a short goals, right? And ask yourself, okay, what do I need to do now? Okay. The other tip is asking questions. Questioning and ask the questioning tool is a very, very powerful way for you to be able to help you to change your perception about things. Because when you change your perception, right, you can change your meaning about that. That changes the way you think and feel about that certain situation or thought. And when you do that, your behavior will also change as well. So, what sort of questions can you ask yourself is, for example, what does this really mean to me? Could there be, what else could this mean? Right? Because when you take a step back and you ask the question, what else could this mean? Your brain then focuses on something else and not on the issue, not on the negative thoughts, but rather it looks at, well, let's have a look what else this could mean. This could also mean a positive thing, right? This may not mean what I think it means. It could mean something totally different. And so when we do that, we are loosening our grip on that negative thought, and we're allowing ourselves to be able to be a bit more flexible, right? And that can then change the way we feel and then the way we behave. Yeah, the behavior at the end of the results. And the last tip I want to mention, these are my 5 tips, is really to practice self-care, right? Ways to practice self-care is, one, look at meditation. Meditation is really a powerful tool to really help you to be aware of what's going in and out of your thought. Now, people think that meditation is to sit there and do nothing and try to be still or just not feel anything. But the thing is with meditation is that meditation isn't just trying to be blank. Meditation is about actually acknowledging what's coming through, what thoughts are coming through, right? And just being aware of it and then letting it go and coming back to your breathing. So meditation also has been proven to really allow you to refocus and have clarity. So the longer, and if you have never done meditation before, start off with 5 minutes. Start with a couple of minutes. There's lots of tools that can assist you with that. For example, Smiling Mind is a great tool that you can use. And if you have children, it's also a great one for kids as well. So you can do this in the evening with your children. And I really encourage you to make it a habit for you to do meditation in the morning to start the day off. So I usually start the day off with a morning 5-10 minutes meditation, and then with the meditation, and then I come in with a gratitude, grateful for the gratitude for the day, and then my intentions for the day. And that's a really, really great way to start the day. So, right, meditation. So creating, in terms of self-care, creating rituals, morning rituals and evening rituals, that's going to really, really help you to be more productive, but also allow you to have time for yourself. Because often we get caught up with the busyness, whether we have families, whether we have, when we don't have family, we're constantly on the work, and sometimes we actually forget to focus on ourselves. So look at how you're managing your self-care, add morning rituals, add evening rituals, do more meditation. How is your sleep pattern? Are you sleeping well? One other thing is that I look at also taking up is Qigong is a great way to help you with mindfulness exercise. So look at various different mindfulness exercises that can help you with self-care. Do some grounding exercise. Go for a walk on the beach without any shoes. Take your shoes off. Go to the park and just walk around during your lunch break or something like that. Learn to take breaks when you're actually taking a break. When you're having lunch, have a proper lunch. So self-care is really look at managing your self-care, because that's also going to help you to really just maintain what's going in your head, because sometimes we are so busy that also powers up our inner critic. So we want to kind of tame it and make it feel balanced by also creating a lifestyle, looking at your calendar and putting time for yourself to just do some reflection. Yeah, reading books, reading personal development, reading self-help books. That's actually going to help you as well to tame your inner critic. Whether you love reading or listening to books as well, you can listen to books as well, or watch YouTubes that can help you to really to train your mind. Yeah. So those are my 5 tips. And if you need more help, please do connect with me, and I can help you come up with a strategy to help you to also tame your inner thoughts. Have a lovely, lovely day.